Hello everyone, so this week I will be playing two excerpts by Mendelssohn from A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is the musical representation from Shakespeare's work. He wrote the overture first on 1827 and then completed the work in 1842. So yeah, he first conceived the work as a slightly overture, then added the rest of the parts. And as an interesting thing to know, the Wedding March belongs from this A Midsummer Night's Dream work. So I just wanted to add some couple of details that were not discussed on the class that we had. So basically we should know also a bit about the work of Shakespeare, because that was the inspiration of Mendelssohn. Like Mendelssohn was trying to portray this, and the work is a comedy. It's ambience in ancient Greece, so it has this magical and fun nature to it. It has fairies on it. I suggest you watch that because it's interesting, even if it's just the summary of the work, which I'm not gonna go that much into it, but I think it's pertinent to realize that because of the theme of this work, of this written work, we can get the idea of what we want the overture and the scherzo to sound. So before the actual actors to appear, we get the overture, which is kind of the overview of this work. Then there is the first act that has no music and jumps straight to the scherzo. So why this is important? I think it's important because it gives us context to develop some musical ideas and what we should be aiming for. So about the overture, it is really tricky. By looking at the score, we realize how bare it really is, how magical or fairy or ethereal we might want it to sound. So we are just listening at the beginning these whole notes with all the winds, but the excerpt itself is the first violin line. And it's only accompanied, it has the accompaniment of the second violin. So there is nothing else. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing. It's really bare. It's really translucent. So it just happens to be really rhythmical, really piano. You don't have too much room to make shapes, but still we can try to get some things done, because I think it just ask for this expectation factor. That's why it's not really all open at the beginning, and we get that very huge element of surprise, as a comedy would do, on the tutti, on the forte, where everyone is like loud and all the instruments are bam, bam, ba-da-dum, sort of a fanfare. And that means that on that particular part, I mean, we should not rush into any part of the music, but that particular forte has the tendency to run, especially on the quarter notes, just because of the mass of sonority of all the instruments. Then the goals should be to have a steady tempo, to have some good bow stroke, an unmovable texture, and a sudden surprise. And about the scherzo, this is kind of the lesson, the continuity of that overture. So it does start with the same element of what is going to happen, expectations again. So because all the instruments move together with and we have 17 bars of that prior the entrance of the strings. So we need tempo, we need shapes, we need everything in piano, we need the control, we need to be delicate, we need these tiny touches of the articulations, of the accents. These touches, to me, with the context of the work, then I realized, oh, the fairies, oh, the love, oh, this, oh, the magic. So that's I think how we should approach it, rather than just giving it an accent just because it's written. So that's what the information I get from that context. But if we do look at the score, it's really interesting because we have that rhythmic motif, this tam pa 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 pam, pam, just that tam ta 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 ta. These 5 notes are all over the place. Every single bar, someone is doing that, until changes to only triplets. So we have ta 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 ta. That second bar has an expansion on the middle of the passage. So every time someone has that tan 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 tan, and again the elements of surprise, or how well this music is written, because just the end of the excerpt, these last decrescendo bars to the piano to vanish, they are bare again. Everything gets quiet, and we just have the strings getting to that really high note on a really gracious way. So yeah, I think it's interesting just to watch that particular element on the score, because it can get missed as just ta 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 when you are studying just the subdivision. But just to have the whole thing, it gives another really good approach to the piece. So without anything further to add, I will play the overture and